There we go. Okay, good morning, everybody. Welcome to DuePoint. Welcome to everyone around the country who's tuned into the live stream. My name's Rob van der Bell. I'm one of the executives here at DuePoint. I'm going to be spending the next 50 minutes or so with you going through what our business is all about, who we are, and what the opportunity is all about. After the presentation, I'll be sticking around. There'll still be some admin staff around, so you're welcome to come speak to us, ask us any questions that you might have. All right, okay? So let's begin. As you can see, DuePoint is a division of a company called Constantia Insurance Company Limited. Constantia is a registered insurance company in South Africa. We don't share offices with them, but they're just down the road here in Randburg. That's their building. That's their branding that they use. The FSP number that we operate under is that one over there. That's very important. That's our license to operate as a financial services provider or an insurance company. So you'll notice above the water cooler outside, we've got all these certificates up on the wall. If you go to our website, you'll see them there too. We've got a license, a long and short-term insurance license. We've got an investment license. We've got our FSP license on display. So go take a look at those. Those are our licenses with the Financial Services Board. That's very important. From a credibility point of view, that should be a tick box for you guys, right? If you arrived at this presentation wondering about who's this company we're going to go see, that's all our credibility up on the wall. That's our licenses to operate in financial services space in this country. We've got our accreditation with the Direct Marketing and Direct Selling Association, so we're registered with those two associations and regulated by them in a small way. The managers and executives are these people up on screen, starting with the three people on the far left who are registered chartered accountants. Mr. Brendan Benfield is our senior executive. He heads up this division. He's got a lot of experience in financial services, particularly in insurance. So he has grown up only knowing insurance. His father is a professor of insurance. His father started Clientele Life. When was it? In 89, I think, they started Clientele Life. His father founded the IFA. They have started businesses in Europe. They've helped found businesses in Australia. They've had a lot of success in the space. Brendan and his brother Stuart, both chartered accountants, followed in their father's footsteps. Together as a family with some investors, they started Prime Meridian Direct, PMD. Everyone know PMD? You see PMD advertising constantly, right? There's billboards all over the place. At one stage, I had billboards right outside my office. That company was started less than 10 years ago. They're now the fourth biggest short-term insurer in the country. We are very lucky to have this financial pedigree leading our business. We've got Tim Reynolds. He's very experienced in corporate banking. He was with the First Rand Group for about 15 years. He reported directly to the CEO there, so he's fairly senior. Stacey, she's been working in auditing all her career. She was with Deloitte here as well as overseas. So those are the boring accountants. Then the non-accountants are the more interesting people. If you're going to come talk to anyone, come talk to us. Right? Jane and myself. Jane is very experienced in network or referral marketing. And that's very important because we're an insurance company. Don't say we're a network marketing company. We're an insurance company. Our growth is through a marketing channel called network marketing. And that's very important because our growth is based on that. And Jane brings international experience. She's from the UK, very experienced in network marketing. She brings that expertise to our team. Myself, I've been working in advertising for over 20 years. I ran my own agency for about 15 of those years. I exited that business before I joined DuePoint. So I pretty much spent all my life in advertising of some sort. That is the team. Our mandate as staff of DuePoint is to support everybody that joins us. Everybody that decides to join DuePoint and collaborate with us, we are here. I am here to support you. I want to see you effective and profitable in this business. It is in my interest, right? I can only be profitable as a business if you guys are being effective. And so everything that I do is to support you. I want to see you succeed in this business. So that's a bit of background on us and the business. Very quickly, we pay a little bit of credence to the circumstance that we find ourselves in, because I imagine that none of us in this room would be here this morning in Bryanston in a business presentation on the weekend if your salaries were the answer to all your problems. Right? If your salary was the answer to all your problems, you wouldn't be here. We are all looking for something extra. You're not happy with your circumstance, right? You want more out of this life. And so, beyond all of this negativity, debt. People are indebted. We are in a debt cycle. We have engaged too much in debt instruments, not enough in savings and investments. Why? Probably because of the economy. The economy has got cost of living that's increasing by the rate of inflation. So inflation was sitting at 7%. It's now dropped a little bit to 5%. but it is probably growing faster than what your salary is growing, right? How many of us have got a salary increase of 5% every single year for the last 7 years in their salaries? Not even 5%. The truth is that your salary is actually less in value than what it was 7 years ago. How are you supposed to grow in life if your salary is doing that to you, right? And so we engage in debt instruments. It comes to a head when we get to retirement, because retirement looks dismal for the majority of us. They reckon 97% of South Africans will get to retirement financially dependent. What is financially dependent? Financially dependent is when you cannot support yourself once you retire. That's what it means. You become a burden to your children, to family. You have to downscale your lifestyle to such a degree that you can afford to live on a government grant, afford to live on whatever retirement fund you've put in place for yourself. And what this presentation is about this morning is about the opportunity for us to engage in something that can change that circumstance. And out of all that negativity, Constantius saw an opportunity as a business to create the DuePoint system that was launched 2 years ago. Last month. So last month, 2 years. So now we're 2 years and 1 month old, this system. You have the opportunity to engage in the system to change your circumstance. We have aspirations in mind for every single person that joins this business. So you can align yourself with these aspirations. You don't have to. This is just what we have in mind for the people that join this business. Beyond just earning money. You thought, I'm coming to look at a presentation that's going to put extra money in my back pocket. But it goes beyond that. Money is just a means to an end. The end for us that we have in mind for you is to become debt-free as quickly as possible. To pay your debt off as quickly as possible. Who aspires to that? I don't think anyone aspires to that. Most of us are just trying to make it to the end of the month, let alone start paying all the debt that I have off, right? This business aims to put you in a position where you can pay your debt off faster. What does that look like? Imagine that, because you probably never imagined what it must feel like to be debt-free. I'll tell you how debt-free, what it feels like. At the end of the month, you only get 2 SMSs at the end of the month. At the moment, you're getting many SMSs, right? Many, many, many. Those SMSs all come from the bank. The less SMSs you get from the bank, the better. Because at the moment, you get 1 SMS. So now recently, right, we just had month end, last week. Everyone got paid their salaries, I hope. You didn't get retrenched. The company didn't run away. Right? Not like the optimum coal miners who are still waiting for salary. Imagine you're waiting for your salary. No salary is arriving. Anyway, for majority of us that are working in business, we get 1 SMS from the bank saying, oh, your salary's been paid into your account. And then you're happy for about, how many minutes are you happy for? 1 minute, right? 1 minute. Because all those debit orders that you have, they come through 1 minute straight after that salary's been paid in. Those companies are looking at your account like this. Ah, it's been paid, quickly, debit. And then we get 20 SMSs. That's what being in a debt cycle feels like. When you become debt-free, you get 2 SMSs. 2. One from your employer saying, we've paid your salary. And then a little bit later, another SMS from DuePoint saying, we've paid you a return. And then you know what happens? Nothing. Silence. Silence. No debit order SMSs. Have you seen now, you get so many debit order SMSs, the bank bundles them into 1 SMS. Right? You get 1 SMS that says there's 4 debit orders. That's how many debit orders you're getting. So our aspiration for people in this business is to become debt-free. When all that money that lands up in your account stays in your account, you get to decide how to spend it. The second aspiration for people in this business is to create wealth. That's really what our business is about. That is the language of DuePoint, creating wealth. But we have to knock that first one off. You can't create wealth if you owe other people money. Right? So we take care of the debt first and then we create wealth. We create wealth through the ownership of assets or investments that appreciate. And then the third aspiration is a result of the first 2, and that's just to be happier. You made time and effort to come to this presentation this morning with the prospect of being happier. You thought this business might represent an opportunity that will change your circumstance and make you and your family happier. If you achieve those first 2 aspirations, I guarantee you, you will be 95% happier. Right? Money empowers you that way. That's why when we talk about liberation, we don't only talk about political liberation in this country, we talk about financial liberation. That's what we really want. So those are 3 aspirations. You can align yourself to those, you don't have to. But for our guests here this morning, you have the opportunity to join DuePoint. You contract with us. Once you contracted with us, we call you wealth engineers. And as wealth engineers, we have one task in mind for you. And that is for you to go out and build what we call a channel of distribution. Right, so what's a channel of distribution? I'm going to show you what a channel of distribution is shortly. But basically, all it is you introducing people to DuePoint. And our online platform will facilitate the sale of products to those people, and that's how the whole business works. Summarized in one sentence for you, the advantage, the benefit for you, is that you get to create additional income. That's why you're here. That's why you think you're here. You're here because you want to make something extra. But the nature of the income that we produce here is recurring, so this is very important. This is one of the most important benefits, recurring income. Some people refer to it as passive income. So if you follow any entrepreneurship news or talk, you'll always hear about entrepreneurs talking about passive income, not active income. That's not what you do. Salaries are active income. Passive income is the ability to make money while you're sleeping. You only get paid a salary when you go to work 8 hours a day, 40 hours a week, right? Imagine your boss paid you while you were sleeping. How is that possible to make money while you're sleeping? It is possible through the ownership of an asset. So when you start building a channel of distribution here at DuePoint, you get to enjoy a benefit that insurance companies have. Insurance companies create what we call a book value. A book value pays out an income every month to us. We don't have to chase the money every month, right? So like my father is a gold miner. A gold miner has to dig the gold out the ground every single month. Every single hour of the day is important to a gold miner. If they miss an hour, that's an hour of production that they've missed. And at the end of every month, they start at zero again. And they have to pull that amount of gold out the mine every single month to pay everyone's salaries, to pay all their costs, the suppliers, everybody. In this business, you get to make money while you're sleeping. You can do business in March and do nothing in April and still get paid. You can do business in March, that'll pay you in May, June, July. We've got people that joined this business a year ago, that left, that are still being paid today. That is the ability to create recurring income. The power duplication. We've designed the system with leverage in mind. What is that? Have you ever wished that you could duplicate yourself? Haven't you ever wished that? You're running around so much. You've got so much stuff to do. You just think, oh, I wish. You just fantasize for a moment. You say, imagine I could clone myself. Then one of me can go on holiday, the other one can work. Right? Well, power of duplication is something very similar. It is something that we've built into the system. When you go out and you find other people, when you introduce other people into this business, you have the opportunity to duplicate yourself. Because if those people join our business and start collaborating with you, right, they'll be doing exactly the same thing as you. They'll also be building these channels of distribution. You now get to collaborate. Those people, the effort they're putting into the business will in turn increase your recurring income. Their efforts will benefit you. So picture it like this, because we're all employed. So maybe we struggle to understand the concept. Imagine being employed as a sales manager at work. And as a sales manager, your boss says to you, as a sales manager, your sales team, you'll earn a bit of percentage from each of your sales staff that you have. So you've got 100 people in your sales team, and you're earning a little bit from every single one of those people, right? That's a leverage. Diametrically opposed, if you're a salesman on your own, and you only earn commission off of your effort, right? That's what most of us do. We only earn off of our effort. You can't duplicate yourself. That's fantasy, right? But as the sales manager, next month you could hire more salespeople. And now you're earning more commission off more salespeople. You could double your sales force. You could triple your sales force. And now you're getting more from each person. I still only have 8 hours of work a day, but I'm earning more. You get to do the same thing in this business. You get to leverage by bringing people into this business to help and collaborate with you, in turn increasing your recurring income. Our business is flexi time. You get to decide how this business fits into your life. No one's going to tell you how this business fits into your life. You make that decision. If you can only do the business on Saturday mornings, that's fine. If you do it in the week, at lunchtime, it's fine. If you can only do it after 9 p.m. every single day, that's fine. Before 6 a.m. in the morning, that's fine. You decide how the business fits into your life. There's no startup capital in our business. We don't have boxes of product that you have to buy. We don't say, oh, you need to pay us a lump sum to get started. We don't have a starter kit that you need to invest in to get started in this business. We make the business as risk-free as possible because we want to make it as accessible to everybody as possible. No qualifications or experience required. How many people brought their CVs with them this morning? Everyone forgot their CVs at home. You're going to have to come back on Monday. Right? I don't care about CVs. I don't care about your experience. Actually, I get very excited when people who are typically disenfranchised in normal corporate South Africa, right? People perhaps that don't have formal education, you are disenfranchised automatically in the normal economy. But in this business, when I see someone who seems to have the odds against them succeed in our business, that's when I get excited because I know then the business works for people, everybody, regardless of what your excuse could be. So we don't care about qualifications or experience here. The only thing that counts in this business is work ethic. Have you heard that term, work ethic? Right? It is your attitude to working, to investing time, to sacrificing time into something that you want. Build an asset. Someone's phone's beeping and tweeting. Build an asset. You get to build an asset in this business. This is probably the most important benefit on the slide. Why? Because this channel of distribution that you're building, you have legal tender over. Legal tender means legal ownership. So you're building something that you actually own. You have got an asset that you own, right? Why is that important? Well, first of all, it's completely different to salary, to employment. Because in your jobs, how many of us have got shares in the companies we work for? How many of us get a dividend check every quarter when the company decides they're doing well? Does your salary suddenly go up when the company does well? Or do they wait for the end of the financial year to tell you, oh no, the economy's not doing well, we're only giving a 4% increase? Right? We don't get to partake in the upside of the companies that we work for. But we have to partake in the downside. Because what happens if the company does really badly? Then they say to you, no increases, right? And if the company does really badly, they talk about retrenching. If the company does really badly, they just don't pay salaries and they close down. I've got lots of friends. So already, Optimum Coal Mine, they haven't paid salaries to any of their staff. I said, oh no, we don't have money. I've got a friend who works in pharmacy. The company she works for said, oh no, we're selling our company, but we're also liquidating at the same time. And so we're not going to pay you a salary and we're retrenching you. Right? That's a success. It's a huge pharmacy here in Morningside. Legally, you can't do that, by the way. That's the prospect of working in employment. We have to partake in the downside. We don't have an opportunity. But when you have an asset that you have ownership over, when you own an asset, you get to partake in the upside. So the upside is you get to benefit out of all the effort that you put in. When it does better, you do better. An asset doesn't disappear when you retire. Employment disappears when you retire. That income disappears when you retire. An asset that you have ownership over that's paying your recurring income is going to keep paying you when you're 60, when you're 65, when you're 70, when you're 75, when you're 80, when you're 85. Who thinks they're too tired to work after 60? No one, right? But your company is going to tell you, oh, you're looking a little old. You're looking a little old. It's time for you to take early retirement. My father's nearly 75. He's just signed a 20-year contract with his employer. Works for the Chinese. Big Chinese investment consortium that owns a couple of the gold mines here in South Africa. They don't have this culture of retirement. Oh, you're too old to work, right? So he's lucky. Because most companies will look at a 75-year-old and go, oh, we're not in hiring you. These people have just signed a 20-year contract with him. They think he's going to work to 95, right? He's strong, but I don't know, maybe 95 is pushing it. So the ownership of an asset pays you beyond retirement. An ownership of an asset is something that can get passed down generation to generation. What happens for the majority of South Africans is that we actually pass debt onto the next generation. You think your debt disappears when you die? Your debt doesn't disappear. It gets formed, put into your estate, and your estate gets passed on to your spouse or into your children, and then the bank comes after those people. If you built an asset that pays out a recurring income, you get to pass wealth onto your spouse, wealth onto your children. And so I'm hoping that people will be happy to sacrifice time building a channel of distribution, knowing that this asset can pay them beyond retirement, beyond death. Right? You can even sell it. So already this week we've had 2 people that say they want to sell their channels for whatever various reasons. They've got various reasons. But you have the ability to sell your channel because it'll have intrinsic value because it's creating recurring income. There's no selling involved in our business. Majority of people hate selling. People are terrified to sell. Right? Who wants to sell vitamins to friends on weekends? Anyone like doing that? No, that's not a great prospect. In this business, we've contracted you out of selling. You don't sell, you don't talk about our products. That's a great thing. All you're going to be doing is connecting people to a business opportunity. If I've got 2 lots of people and I go up to one bunch of people and say, hey guys, friends, I've got some insurance products for you guys. Or if I go to the other bunch and I say, guys, friends, I've got a business opportunity for you. One that creates recurring income, no selling involved, with a company that's 70 years old. Which proposition do you think becomes more attractive? The latter one, right? That's what we're going to be doing. We're going to be offering people the opportunity to create recurring income for themselves. That's all you're going to be telling people about. But the nature of our products are also a benefit because the nature of our products are financial in nature. It means they're not tangible products. I'm always facetious about selling products and there's no vitamins. We don't have milkshakes, right? That's a benefit because you don't have to buy boxes of product to get started in this business. You don't have to bring your uncle's bucky to load up all your vitamins. You don't have to fight with the spouse at home because you want to take the shoes out the way, put the vitamins in the shoes, right? Our products don't expire. And so the benefit of our products makes it very convenient to operate in this business. But your success in this business is dependent on your ability. Don't know what's going on. Bill Gates. Your success is dependent on your ability to create a channel of distribution. So I told you I was going to show you what one looks like. This is what it looks like. It begins with you. You become a wealth engineer, and you are going to go out and, like I said, connect people to this business opportunity. If you are successful in that endeavor, and yeah, in this example, you've got 5 people that join as DuePoint wealth engineers. They take out one of our products. That is the beginning of your channel of distribution. And remember, we speak about leverage, about duplicating yourself, right? That starts to happen because these people that you introduce to the business are going to go out and do exactly the same thing. Because they want to build their channels of distribution. They want to change their circumstance, their lives. And so you get to enjoy the benefit of that collaboration. So my lesson here is make sure that the people that you bring in to the business are people that you can depend on. People that you think will thrive in this business. The default that people make when they join our business is that they get desperate and they just want anyone to join. Anyone! I've been asked, please, I need a gazebo. I want to put a gazebo on the street corner, DuePoint gazebo, and then anyone who's walking past, I can tell them to come look at the opportunity. That's not the way to build a business, right? You have to be very discerning. You are now a CEO of your business. You're the owner of the asset. So you can picture yourself as the MD or the CEO. You are building a board of directors. Do you think when someone's looking for a board of directors, they put a gazebo up on the street and ask anyone to come in? Never. You decide who comes into your business. People you can depend on, people that you can relate to, people that are at your peer level. We make the mistake of wanting to sell down all the time. We like to speak to people under us, right? Because they'll listen to us. They'll find us credible because we're higher than them. That's a mistake. Approach people at your peer level because that behavior translates into the rest of your channel. If everybody gets desperate, you're going to have a channel that collapses every month because it's built on weakness. But if you aim at your peer level, if you're very discerning about the people you bring into the business, you will build a strong business, one that is sustainable, one that'll give you the opportunity one day to walk away from traditional employment. Who would like to tell their boss what they really think of them? Right? You would like to, but you don't have that privilege, right? You don't have the privilege to tell your boss what you really think of them. One day I'm hoping that you will have that opportunity, right? Not saying all bosses are bad, but at least you have the choice. Because if you have a sustainable channel like this that is paying you a recurring income that you can depend on month to month, that pays you while you're sleeping, that grows while you're sleeping, you'll be in the position one day to go, right, this business is great, I've built it up. Maybe 5 years from now, It's paying me recurring income. I can take the whole family on 3-month holiday, knowing that DuePoint will pay you every month while you're still on holiday. When in traditional employment do we have that opportunity? Between jobs, that's when you have it. When you get retrenched from the one, and before you find the next job, you can take a 3-month holiday. But that's incomeless, right? So this is my hope for people in our business, is that they will build the sustainable channel that gives them this freedom of choices later in life. This is our disclaimer slide, our warning slide, because what we do, we make the mistake of romanticizing entrepreneurship. This is an entrepreneur opportunity, right? We look at successful entrepreneurship like this ballet dancer in a ballet pump. If you go to the State Theatre and you watch the ballet, that's what you're going to see. That's all you see. You go, oh, beautiful. A girl in a ballet pumps, looks very cute. But to be a professional dancer takes about 10,000 hours of practice. If you take that ballet pump off, that's what you find underneath. This is what entrepreneurship is like. It's a perfect analogy, because we look at a successful entrepreneur. You might know some people that are successful entrepreneurs, right? Whether you know them well or you don't know them well, that's all you see from the outside. You see they've got a nice car, they're always dressed nicely, they've got nice things, nice house, the dog is even nice, right? All these nice things. And you default, it's very easy to look at them and make the assumption, oh, they're so lucky. They're so lucky because they know those people, and they're lucky because of this, and they're lucky because of that. Entrepreneurship is blood, sweat, and tears. You try run a business. Not just run a business, but to make a business successful requires massive dedication. And I don't want anyone arriving at this presentation thinking, oh, I can treat this like a hobby or a get-rich-quick scheme or a New Year's resolution. It's none of those things. We're a very established insurance company in South Africa. We've been around for 70 years. We're listed on the Joburg Stock Exchange. This is an opportunity that we're extending to the public for the first time in 70 years. My invitation to you is you have the opportunity to get stuck into entrepreneurial business. Don't think you're going to be rich by December, right? We've got people in this business that have been here 2 years since day one when we launched the business. 2 years doing very well. They are by no means deemed to be successful. They might be earning nearly 100,000 Rand a month already. That's not successful, right? That's still early. 2 years into the business is early in business. My invitation to you is to work towards success, but it takes work. So that's my warning to you, right? We've got 3 products. So like a traditional insurance company, we are not very different to a traditional insurance company. We've got our insurance products, our financial products. I invite you to consider our 3 products that we have. So you can consider taking out 1 or all 3 products. Our first product is called Access Wealth. It is an investment product. It costs 324 Rand every month. Of the 324 Rand, we'll invest 100 Rand into a tax-free investment fund that sits with Sanlam. Sanlam's the biggest investment house in the country, right? There's a no restriction delay on that account. That means you can draw that investment out at any stage, not 30 days notice or 60 days notice. On top of that, we give you a little bit of insurance. There's the insurance. Personal accident cover to the value of 120,000 Rand. What does that mean? It means you have this investment, you will have a little bit of insurance with it. Personal accident cover to the value of 120,000 Rand. If you're killed in a car accident, or you're killed in crime, or you fall off the ladder, you slip in the bathroom, we'll pay out your beneficiaries 120,000 Rand. In the last 2 years, we've paid out 100% of our claims. Right? Notable. That's a question you should be asking. How many claims do you pay out? 100% so far. So this is the Access Wealth product. This is an investment product. Product number 1. Product number 2 is called Wealth Guard. Wealth Guard is strictly insurance. No investment here. It's purely insurance. 299 Rand a month, but this time you get 1.2 million Rands worth of personal accident cover. Note I say personal accident cover. This is not funeral cover. This is not life insurance. Those products want to know what your health is. And your premium will be based on your health and your age and your risk. This product is accessible to everybody. I can offer this product to anyone over the age of 18, regardless of your age, regardless of your health status. The premium remains the same. The amount of cover you receive remains the same. That's the beauty of our insurance here at DuePoint. So that's product number 2, Wealth Guard. Product number 3 is called Wealth Points. Wealth Points is 299 Rand a month too. And this time, you get to save money on the money that you spend every month anyway. So if you look at the list of partners there, I bet you spend money with at least one of those partners. Through the Wealth Points program, you get to enjoy discounts that we've negotiated with these companies. So, for example, always on Wi-Fi data, if you go to them, you say, I need a gig of data. They've got 2,500 hotspots around the country. You say, I need 1 gig of data. They're going to say 100 Rand for a gig of data. But if you're on the Wealth Points program, they only charge you 37 Rand. Right? Do you see? There's discounts on everything. Right? ShopRite Checkers 2.5%. All the retailers are typically between 2.5% and 10%. So the discounts are different with every single company. They're not all the same. They're different. Go take a look at the website. Oops. So we're missing a slide there. Okay, so we've got a new one. I don't know if we've added the new one on. Doesn't look like we've added the new one on. We've just signed up a new partner. So we're adding new partners to this product all the time. Our latest partner is Jaguar Land Rover Sandton. Who's in line to buy a Range Rover soon? Range Rover, you're going to go to Jaguar Land Rover Sandton. Right? They have promised to give us the best service and the best prices in the country. Only to the Wealth Points program members. So do you see how the Wealth Points program works? If you're looking for immediate benefits, it's a great product to have. So like any insurance company, we have a couple of differences. So for you to understand our business model a little better, so that you don't ask me the question later, a typical insurance company, like someone like Prime Meridian Direct down the road, they do tons of advertising. They've got a massive budget for advertising. Any insurance company has got budget for advertising. That's primarily how insurance companies grow and get to market. At DuePoint, we don't spend a cent on marketing. Not a cent. You won't see a DuePoint logo outside of this building. We depend on our wealth engineers, the people that we bring into the business to collaborate with us. We depend on you to go out and tell people about DuePoint. Right? That's how our growth is determined. And so we don't have to spend the billions that typically the insurance industry spends every year on advertising. We can take that portion of our budget and attribute it to the returns and rewards program. That's where your benefit lies, right? The recurring income. We share in that saving with you guys. And that's how our business model works. So there's two ways to benefit as a wealth engineer: returns and the rewards program. The returns program works like this. This is the ability to create recurring income. We pay a base return fee of 27.50 Rand for every product that ends up in your channel. Remember all those people that you start inviting to DuePoint that take out one of our products? We pay you 27.50 Rand for every single premium that we debit. But it depends on where that product lies. Remember the first 5 people you brought into the business? That product lies on your first point. On your first point, we pay you 55 Rand. So we pay you double the 27.50 Rand. On the second point, right? So these are friends of friends. Those aren't people you brought in. Those are people that the people you brought in brought. So that's your second point. On your second point, we pay you again 55 Rand for every product. Remember, it's recurring income. You don't have to chase this every month. Once it's in, it's in. Right? So this is money that you earn in a recurring fashion every month. And then as the product gets further and further away from you, the multiplier starts to drop all the way down to the 8th point. So in this business, we've got people already at point 30 in their channels. That's how big their channels are already after 2 years, at point 30. You can earn 4% from point 8 onwards. We don't limit you at the 8th point. So we don't limit you on how big your channel can get. Your channel can grow to the 100th point, to 1,000th point. You have the potential to earn on every single point in your business. We don't limit you on how much money you can earn at DuePoint. But the question always is, well, how much money do people earn in this business? Give me an idea. So we built this projection over the next 5 years. So if you join today and you follow a growth formula that we've laid down as an example, you can expect to earn these numbers. So the growth formula that we use in this example is what we call 3 plus 2. It assumes in your first month, and we're all lucky because we're here on the beginning of March, so you've got the whole month. If you can bring 3 people into the business in your first month, and then every consecutive month thereafter, you only have to bring in 2. So in March, you're going to bring 3 people in. That'll qualify you as a wealth engineer. And then in April, you bring 2. May 2, June 2, July 2. And you keep bringing 2 people in into perpetuity. You can expect to earn these numbers. 2,500 Rand in your 6th month as a wealth engineer. Who thinks that's worth their time? You think it's okay? I must have a good audience. I don't know. Some people are looking at me like this. I look at everyone's reaction when I get to this part of my presentation. I want to understand what you think about 2,500 Rand. You think, I just drove all the way to Bryanston for 2,500 Rand. Will he notice if I walk out now? But I think you're still hanging around because you're hoping the number will get bigger. The number will get bigger, but it's my opportunity to explain to you that we have the wrong way of valuing money. The mistake we make as employees typically, and this is how our economy and how economies around the world are built. They are built on consumerism. We think like consumers. If I give you 2,500 rand, I put it in your back pocket now. How long is that 2,500 rand going to last? Maybe till tomorrow. Right? Maybe till tomorrow. Because as consumers, we label the value of money on spending power. Always. Always. Wait till Black Friday happens again at the end of the year. Go stand outside Mall of Africa. That's consumerism happening beautifully. Right? But it is the reason why we are in a debt cycle. Because if you think as an entrepreneur, if you think of somebody like an investor, they don't look at money from a value of spending. They look at it from a leverage point of view. They look at 2,500 rand, they say, how can I make the 2,500 rand work for me? And this is where the illustration comes in, because we are all indebted, majority of us, like 99% of us. Here's the example of someone with a 1 million rand bond, right? So that's a typical debt instrument, a bond. You find a house, you don't have the money to buy the house cash, so you go to the bank, you ask for the loan. We're always asking for loans, we get indebted, and then there's a contract. The contract says you'll pay us this much a month to pay that off. So in a bond example, typically we have a 20-year bond. So I'm 40 at the moment. If I found a house now and I've got my salary to the point and my credit record to the point where the bank's willing to loan me the money, I only have the prospect of becoming a homeowner in 20 years' time. On 1 million rand, at prime plus 2, I'm paying back the bank about 11,500 rand a month for the next 20 years. When I'm 60, I make my last installment on that house and I become a homeowner for the first time in my life only then. I have paid back the bank in interest an additional 1.5 million rand. Right? So to finance 1 million rand, I typically pay back the bank 2.5 million rand. My lesson at the beginning of the presentation, my aspiration for people in this business is to pay your debt off as quickly as possible. Why? Because there's massive value in paying debt off faster. It has the same consequence. Paying debt off faster has the same consequence as investing. It's the same thing. Don't look at paying your debt off as just something. You always want to pay your debt off. It's the same process as investing. So I take the 2,500 rand and instead of spending it over the weekend, I decide to put it into my bond as an additional payment. What happens? I'll pay this house off, and instead of 20 years, I'll pay it off in 11.5 years. Putting an extra 20% into my bond will nearly halve the term of my bond. Take a guess how much money it saves you in interest, in payments that you would have had to make. This is hard currency. This is not maybe money. This is money that you've just saved yourself, nearly 1 million rand. You've saved yourself nearly equivalent of the value of the asset that you purchased in the first place. That's at the 6th month mark. Look at money differently. It's easy to turn your nose up at 2,500 rand because it doesn't seem like it has much spending power. At 12 months, you're earning in excess of 100,000 rand in annual recurring income. Imagine you all arrived here this morning and I said, guys, today is your lucky day. Everyone gets 100,000 rand today. 100,000 rand check. I've got 150, 100,000 rand checks for everybody. I feel like Oprah. Right? I'm giving stuff away. Look under your chairs. Look under your chairs. Everybody gets 100,000 rand. What would your family say if you came home with 100,000 rand check today? You came home into the house. 100,000 rand check. Right? They say either you stole it, either you won the lotto, right? They'd never say you earned it, right? Because they know what you've been up to the last year. I'm telling you, at the 12-month mark, you can earn yourself 100,000 rand in annual recurring income. 100,000 rand check before Christmas. How would that change your end of year? How would that look for January? How would that look when you realize you've got to pay school fees and stationery and new school uniforms, all that, the costs associated with the beginning of the year and lots of depression. Have we all come out of the January depression? Right? Are you trying to forget your January? Right? Most of us are. You keep going. The number will get bigger. At 24 months, you have built an asset that is paying out nearly 30,000 rand a month in monthly recurring income. 30,000 a month. That escalated quickly, right? Think about what you were doing 24 months ago. Think about how quickly 24 months goes. We keep going. At the 36-month mark, you're earning nearly 50,000 Rand a month. You want to look at a bond illustration again? I like this illustration, this example. At the 30-month mark, you'd be earning 36,000 Rand. Let's talk about the spending power of 36,000 Rand, because this is what creates anxiety for me. This is the tension that exists for me. For 36,000 Rand a month, I can go out and buy a 2 million Rand car. So I've already eyed out that Range Rover. I've eyed out the Porsche 911 GTS Targa. It's like gunmetal grey. It's got that silver thing that goes over your head like so. You take the roof off. That's my life at month 30, right? Or I can listen to Rob and pay my debt off faster, right? Because I've got a 5 million Rand bond. I could put the money into the 5 million Rand bond. But that's the tension that exists for me. How will my friends know I'm successful if I'm still driving a Polo and paying my bond off faster? As opposed to leaving the bond, let it pay itself off over 20 years, and buying the Porsche or the Range Rover now. Then, my friends, right? I've got to go to a school reunion. 25 school reunion, I don't want to arrive in the Polo. Say, guys, I'm actually successful. I'm just paying my bond off faster. I promise, look. I brought a statement. Right? That's the decision we make constantly. You don't realize it, but after I've told you about it, you're going to start thinking every day, before you spend anything, you think, should I pay my debt off faster or should I buy these nice things? Right? You'll pay a 5 million Rand bond off in less than 7 years if you put that money into your bond. So I'm 40. So imagine, for me, at 47, I could pay that 5 million Rand house off. I'm a homeowner at 47. Rob said, we empower ourselves by paying our debt off, and then we're empowered to create value in owning assets and investments. So I decided, okay, property, I always hear properties are a great investment. If you can invest money, invest in property. So I decided, okay, I'll buy another 5 million Rand house. So I buy another one, and I pay that off at the age of 54, 7 years later. And then I buy a third house, and I pay that off 7 years later at the age of 61. Now Brendan's tired of me doing presentations. He kicks me out. He says, I'm 61, I'm too old. But my retirement, what does my retirement look like? I own the house I live in. I own another 2 houses I'm renting out for 60,000, 70,000 a month in recurring income that I've created for myself through ownership of assets. What is DuePoint paying me in 21 years' time? That is the retirement I want you guys to envision for yourselves. This process is about letting your imagination run wild beyond what employment offers us. We keep going. After 48 months, you're close to 70,000 Rand a month. That has doubled since month 30. 5 years from now, 60 months, 60 short months away, you'll be on close to 1 million Rand in annual recurring income. Imagine coming home with a 1 million Rand check every year. Every year. Not once off, every year. Because this business creates recurring income, because you've built an asset, and an asset that you can build on every single month. But you could say to me, it's just theoretical. This thing's just theoretical. It is just theoretical. The accountants came up with this, right? Based on the 3 plus 2. Remember, you're doing 2 every month into the business. But fortunately, I know some people who join the business, they'll do nothing. They do 0 plus 0 every month. That's just human nature, right? It's human nature. You can take a proportion of people, statistically 80% will do nothing. It's just how it happens. We can't change that number. I don't know why. But 20% of you can do more than 3 plus 2. And that's where the magic lies. Because you thought 3 plus 2, I must do 3 plus 2. No. 3 plus 2 is the minimum example. 1 million Rand after 5 years is the minimum example. We've got wealth engineers doing more than 3 plus 2. Many of them, we invite them up onto stage. Come tell everyone your story, because they don't believe me. You come tell the story. Natasha Weldrick, single mother of 3, works 7 days a week in retail. Joined the business a year ago. She's on 10,000 Rand a month already, right? And she started like a firecracker. In her second month, she was already earning 2,500 Rand. So you could argue that she slowed down a little bit after month 2 and 3. Her channel grew on its own. So when I talk about the ability to make money while you're sleeping, her channel grew by 100 products in January alone while she was sleeping. She did 23 apps in her first 42 days. She personally brought in 23 people in the space of 40 days. Talk about 3 plus 2. She laughed at 3 plus 2. Here we go, Ray and Rumbi. Joined 10 months ago. Over 10,000 Rand a month in recurring income. They have won the most monthly incentives that we've put up out of anyone in this business. They do that through personal activity, through building as fast as they can. Last month alone, or January, sorry, they grew by 100, right? That wasn't them. That was their channel that they get to benefit, the collaboration, the power duplication. They're averaging 12 apps a month. So they're not doing 3 plus 2, they're doing 12 plus 12. In 5 years' time, I imagine they're going to be beyond R1 million every year. They're not going to take a R1 million check home. That's going to be more like a R2 million check in 5 years' time. We've got Shadrach Twala. He's from Madadeni in KZN. Also joined 10 months ago. He's at over 12,000 Rand a month. Alone, this gentleman has done 213 apps on his own in 10 months. It's up to you. I didn't say, listen, Shadrach, you are going to be our poster child and you're going to do 200 apps a month. I just saw him come up on the report. I was like, who's this guy? It is up to each of us to decide what we want out of this business. What's on the table for all of us is the same for all of us. The opportunity is the same for all of us. You decide what you want off the table. We've got thousands of people joining this business every single month. Everyone is different. Everyone's running their own race. Decide what pace you want to run this race at. Decide what you want from it. That's your decision. Nobody else's decision. That's only the decision you get to make. Every single morning when you wake up, you decide what you're doing that day, what you're thinking about, what you're going to be concentrating on, what's important to you, what your priorities are. No one else decides that for you. This is our returns program. This is the ability to make recurring income. It is our number one priority here at DuePoint through building channels of distribution. So what is the decision? The decision actually is not whether I want to make R1 million a year. The decision is, am I willing to put up with the downside of entrepreneurship? Oh, he's telling people there's a downside to entrepreneurship. That's not a very good presentation. He should only be telling us the good stuff. Think back to that ballerina's foot. Bloodied, blisters. I'm sure a couple of toenails have popped off. That's what business is all about. We have to endure that if you want what is on offer. That is the decision we need to make. Am I willing to make this business part of my life? Am I willing to take that swing to change my circumstance? Joining is very straightforward. Read our code of conduct. It's our contract that defines what you can and cannot do as a wealth engineer. Register as a wealth engineer. Go to our website, click on the blue apply button. You're a wealth engineer in 7 minutes. Anyone can become a wealth engineer, right? But you're still part of the 0+0 club. Watch our online training. We've got 7 videos, 7 hours that explain to you what this business is all about and how to build a channel of distribution effectively. That's only 7 hours. I'm not asking you to study for 5 years and then enter the job market where you can't find a job. 7 hours we need to invest. Set goals for yourself. This can be a daunting exercise for a lot of people. I think a lot of people are too scared to set goals for themselves. What happens if I don't reach the goal? Right? You have to be courageous. You need to be a little bit vulnerable to set a goal for yourself and stretch yourself. Who would think if I got to R1 million a year, I'd be happy and I wouldn't have to do anything more? Who wants to go beyond R1 million? You get to decide that in your goal setting. Prepare a plan. We help you strategize to get there. Right? Remember, it's in my interest to see you succeed in this business. Start talking to people. We can design the most perfect system in the world. If you're not speaking to someone every day, you're not doing the business. And it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what system it is. To help you get going, to help you build your channel of distribution, we have got merchandise. This is not a profit center for us. These are tools that we thought would assist you in building your channel of distribution. Foremost, please consider getting business cards. It is part of a professional package. When you become a business owner, when you own an asset that you are going out and proposing to other people, you need to behave professionally. You need to dress professionally. You need to look professional. You need to act professionally. Business cards is part of that package. So please consider getting the business cards, right? Remember the memory sticks? Got all our videos on there. So if you don't want to use data, because everything we have is on YouTube, everything's in the cloud. If you don't want to do that, if you don't want to use data, get the memory sticks. The pins represent people earning in this business. You look around at the wealth engineers in this business. If they don't have a pin on their lapel, they're still part of the 0+0 club. Don't ask them for advice. Go to the people with the bigger, colorful pins on their lapels, right? And the moment you get earning in this business and you are a qualified wealth engineer, you get to buy one of those pins. Host of other merchandise, all on display in the cabinet, pricing's on the counter. Join our YouTube channel. It'll tell you every time we do a live stream, every time a new video gets loaded up. Download our mobile app. It works on Android and Apple devices. This is your primary tool. You can do this business from your bed if you want to. The app empowers you to do this business regardless of where you are in the country. The app reflects in real time exactly what's happening on every single point in your business. When you wake up in the morning, you open your app, it's going to tell you whether you made money while you were sleeping. When Ray gets up in the morning, he's going to see his channel grew in size. Grew in size while he was sleeping. When I come into the office in the mornings, I pull the report. People have joined between midnight and 6 o'clock in the morning. You realize people are doing business before 6 o'clock in the morning, right? You get to enjoy that. Download the app. It reflects all of that. Some don'ts that we need to highlight. The business is targeted, and this is what you need to do when you build your business. You target it at people that have the resources, Some people don't have the resources to do business, unfortunately. The business is targeted to people who have the resources to thrive in building a channel of distribution. The resources require, you need to be able to afford one of our products. If you can't afford the product, you're going to struggle. If you don't have access to the internet or you can't afford data, you're going to struggle in this business. If you don't have access to transport, I say we've invested so heavily in technology, you can do the business from your bed. But at the same time, if you're building a business, you need transport because you need to meet with your board of directors, the people that you've brought into the business that you want to collaborate with, right? So those are the resources you need. Don't ever complete a DuePoint application form on behalf of somebody else. That is fraudulent. It's illegal. You can go to jail for that. Right? So don't. We see it all the time. And it's easy to pick up, by the way. We see people writing down people's details. So they'll spend a day or a week just writing people's details. Oh, I've got this thing for you. You just put your name here and your bank account and I'll do everything for you. And then they go home at night and they go on our website and they register all these people as wealth engineers. That's illegal. You cannot do that. The person has to do the application form themselves because they're entering into a contract with us. Don't add direct family members that live in your household into your channel. We call it anti-stacking rule. If you've got family members that have left home, they can be in your channel. If they still live with you, they can't be in your channel. It's called the anti-stacking rule. Unfortunately, the people that have gone before us have tried to manipulate the system, right? Don't start your own Facebook page. This, for me, it is a daily thorn in my side. People think they can do business just by starting a Facebook page. Right? Last month, DuePoint International opened up last month. Right? I didn't know we had gone international yet. Supposedly we have. People open up these Facebook pages. They post adverts into these classified groups on Facebook. You are breaking Financial Services Board regulation. You are not allowed to promote DuePoint on any public platform. You're not allowed to promote our products. You're not allowed to speak about our products, our third parties, our subsidiaries. None of it. This is a relationship-based business. It is based on one-on-one prospecting. You will get to R1 million. I promise you. You don't need 10,000 people to join your business in the space of a month on Facebook. It doesn't work. None of our successful wealth engineers do business on Facebook. So don't do it in the first place. Don't send lead wealth engineers to DuePoint unassisted. This talks about that professional behavior again. Treat every person that you're prospecting with dignity. Treat them the same. Treat them with respect. You don't know what they're going to do for your business. You don't. You can't predict it. You don't know who you're bringing in. So treat everyone justly. So our monthly incentives. So Ray and Rumi, they've got already in the last 10 months, they've achieved 4 of these wealth quests. So this is what a wealth quest looks like. It is a challenge that we issue to our wealth engineers. It runs always from the first of the month to the last of the month, so it's only a monthly incentive. March's is called Let Me Entertain You. If you can bring into your business on your first and second point 20 new Wealth Point program members, right, on your first and second point. If you can bring in 20, by the end of the month you can choose between a new iPhone 5S or 100 gigabytes of data plus a LTE router, or 5,000 Rand in travel vouchers in South Africa. So just while you're doing business, you're going to have a brand new one of these at the end of the month. That's our monthly incentive. you are primed to achieve this because you've got the whole month ahead of you to achieve this, right? So we do one of these every month, and it's different every single month. So there is a second way to earn in this business. We call it the rewards program. We discussed the returns program. That's recurring income. The rewards program is like a big incentive program for our wealth engineers. So when you become a new wealth engineer, you will engage in typical wealth engineer behavior. And when you do all these different things, like coming to presentations, bringing guests with you, doing home presentations, logging into your app, you get something called XP. We give you these things called experience points. And when you start collecting more and more of these points and your channel's growing, we reward you along the way. So, you start out as a brand new wealth engineer, you'll be rank 0. See, you're still off the slide. You're not important yet. You earn 1,000 XP, which can take you 2 minutes to earn 1,000 XP, and 4 products in your qualified channel. Bang, suddenly you become rank 1, and at rank 1 we give you an extra 55 Rand at the end of the month. That 55 Rand is for cake for you to buy to celebrate becoming rank 1. Because what you have just done is you've just proved to yourself that you can do this business. If you can get to rank 1, you can get to rank 20. Because the rank 20s are doing the same thing as the rank 1s. There's nothing different in the activity, right? You've just proven to yourself you can get anywhere in this business. And as you start to rank up, you're collecting more XP and your channel's starting to grow. There's a 20,000 Rand check waiting for you, a 50,000 Rand check waiting for you. We give tools to our wealth engineers to help them build their channels more effectively. At rank 5, we give them this little USB stick. It's got all our videos on there. You can show people the opportunity regardless. That thing plugs into phones, tablets, computers, laptops, TVs even. At rank 7, we spend 12,500 Rand getting business cards manufactured for you. There's no ink. So I don't say we get business cards printed. I say we get them manufactured. Because everything that you see there, the logo, the edges are gilded in gold. Gold business cards. We use 4 sheets of paper to make 1 business card. The paper feels like suede. Doesn't even feel like paper. You can ask some of our rank 7s. Ask them if you can feel their business card. They won't give you the business card. It's too expensive. They'll let you touch it. Then you must give it back. Why would we spend so much money on business cards? Because this business is about credibility and first impressions. If you speak to any person involved in sales, it's always about rapport, always about credibility. That's why I say you always have to behave professionally. Business cards that look like that will help you build your channel faster. You put a 12,500 Rand business card on a table, everyone at the table will say to you, my goodness, how did you get a business card like that, and what is DuePoint all about? At rank 9, this is one everyone gets excited about because it's our first recurring reward. This is a reward you get to enjoy every single year. We take you and your family business class flights to our international conference, 7 days away, to a 5-star luxury resort every single year for the rest of your life. Think about that for a second. You might be thinking, oh, that sounds like a nice holiday. Let me tell you, if you can take your kids overseas every year, business class. Have you ever seen a 3-year-old sitting in business class with an air hostess saying, would you like orange juice or champagne? Every year, they won't even know what economy class is. They'll say, who are those people in the back squashed there at the back? You see, those are the rank 8s and below. Right? So take a look. I'm going to show you what we get up to on our rank 9 trip. Everyone wants to get to rank 9. Don't be happy at rank 8. So take a look at what we got up to in December. This is available for every single person in the room. Don't let your circumstance dictate what life owes you. Now we're having the same problem Brendan had, where the video doesn't want to play. Sorry guys, let me just check what's going on here. There we go.
All of your wind has gone, and all of the paths you've drawn have sunk to the ocean sun where no one can see. You stand on at the dark embrace, cower the dreams you chase under the rust and blood. Don't let yourself give up.
That's 9 months away. Like I said, it's available to every single person in this room. There we go. Send that to somebody. Half our wealth engineers got to rank 9 in less than 1 year. One gentleman got there in 5 months. We've got 9 months till our next one. If you don't make this year, next year is waiting for you. We don't reset you to 0 in this business. It's not a 1-year incentive. This is a lifetime incentive. You can work 10 years to get to rank 9 if you want to. Or you can do it in 5 months. Or you can do it in less than 5 months if you want to break SPA's record. It's completely up to you. You decide what you're doing every single day. No one makes that decision for you. At rank 11, we spend R250,000 buying our wealth engineer a brand new car in their name given to them. No DuePoint sticker on the side. No T's and C's. No, you got to give the car back. Sorry, you're not doing very well in DuePoint anymore. You must give the car back. None of that. It is your car. You don't share it with another wealth engineer. This is rank 11 in the rewards program. You saw it go up to 20. We've designed the program up to rank 28. You might be thinking, oh, business class, trip 1C and a car. I've arrived. I don't need to do anything more. I'm asking you to stretch your imagination a little. There is more waiting for you in this business. This is short term. We've already done rank 11. People are now focused on rank 14. We are only 24 months into this business. Are we going to make 2018 count for us? Or is 2018 just going to be another year that we Facebook about at the end of the year saying it was a rubbish year? Right? That's the prospect for most of us. I can design the most perfect system in the world. I cannot do it without you guys. It has to be a collaboration. So I invite you this morning, our guests, I invite you to become wealth engineers, to embark on this trip. Is there a little bit of risk? There's a tiny bit of risk. I'm asking you to sacrifice time into this business. I don't need lump sums of money from you. I don't need you to buy products. I don't need you to sell. I need you to share this opportunity with other people around the country. People are dying for this. There is somebody waiting for you to connect them to this opportunity. I've heard many stories where wealth engineers join and they go, why didn't you tell me about this last year? I saw you last year. Why didn't you tell me last year? Right? There are people waiting for this opportunity. This business might not be for everybody. I want to work with the 20% that are taken by this opportunity, that are convinced and have belief in themselves and this business to change their lives forever. That's what I need out of the business. So I invite you this morning. You can come speak to me after the presentation, ask me any question that you might have. But I look forward to seeing a lot more of the people in this audience. So have a wonderful weekend. Make this year count like it's never counted before. Good luck. Thank you.